So you were self-medicating anyway. You were honest about that. So why can't I just do this sort of legally now? Is basically what your case was.
That's correct.
And then your doctor did what?
She said absolutely. She said, I'll just send the referral to who you like. And I gave her the application I already had in my bag, and the process began.
The Touch of Hero Show, SiriusXM 168.
And now it's time for another amazing guest.
All right, Dean Young, how are you, sir?
Oh, man, I'm loving it today, man. Nice
air-conditioned
air-conditioned studio, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
We're talking burritos with Judah Friedlander. What more do you want? I can't ask for more. Right?
It definitely, Judah's such a beauty. I love when he goes on his rants. He's like, he's like, I don't care if you're kneeling down for against inequality or if there's mold in your coffee machine.
Yeah.
He's like, people need to speak up more.
And who knew 30 Rock was such a dump?
Oh, I know.
Right? I had no idea.
I know. Yeah, if you missed that interview, listen later on iTunes. By the way, we're going to be on a new hosting service soon, too. So I want people to know about that starting October 1. Okay, moving forward. Is it Netoff?
Yes.
I got it.
Totally.
Van, nice and close to the microphone. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
You look good.
Thank you.
It's funny because I'm all about trying to educate myself in what's going on in the world of from medical marijuana to the legalization of marijuana to just trying to understand sort of what activists have been doing, what big, sort of now the conglomerates and the big corporate guys are doing in terms of having, obviously very legal distribution of medical marijuana and things like that with, large LP growers, something like a Cannabis growth or a Tweed and things. And I've been trying to learn about this because I find that there's so many gray areas for people, especially for those who are patients, because I don't really know anyone who's a patient. Dean, do you know anyone who's a patient?
I do, actually. There's a comedian, Alan Park. He used to be on...
I know Alan. I know one.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So he went through cancer treatments and stuff like that, and he was telling me about a lot of this stuff, actually, because it's sort of an unknown area for most of us right now, right?
And I think it's a really important thing for people. I feel like it's my duty to provide this information. So, Van, you've been a patient for how long?
A prescription patient for close to a year now.
Okay, and what's that process like? Like I wouldn't even know where to start.
Someone who just had an ailment, something get discovered, or has something that's just recently happened to them, like a trauma, it would be fairly quick. Someone like myself who...
A little closer to the mic, I'm so sorry.
Someone like myself who had an injury 30 years ago had to go through some x-rays and some, not too push and shove. My doctor was very sympathetic.
Okay, and I mean, in terms of, are there certain doctors, like I don't even, could I go to my family doctor and say, hey, can you prescribe me medical marijuana, or do I have to go to a specific doctor? I don't even know.
You have to go to your family doctor first. You require a referral that gets sent to one of the clinics that is a cannabis registered clinic that's registered with the government. They take the referral, look at your application, and determine whether you fit the bill and qualify. Once you qualify, you come in for an interview process and go through an orientation.
It's like getting your Nexus card.
Really? Yeah, you go in for an interview.
No picture.
Are there some family doctors that are hesitant to even take that next step, which is go and meet an LP and go meet someone who can, help you maybe obviously achieve this? Like, are there some family doctors like, no, I'd rather just give you penicillin, or I don't know, I'm just saying something.
Unfortunately, yes. Too many doctors still haven't pulled their head out and done some reading.
Like over their butt?
Yeah, I'd say so. There is so much out there for them to look at. There is contradiction, there is pro, con, but you need to know yourself. I mean, if you keep getting fed by your doctor or from anybody, you're never going to be clear on what's really happening out there. And so some unsympathetic doctors, you have to go and get another doctor just to get a referral.
Yeah, that's a shame. In my mind, I'm thinking that it would be older doctors who wouldn't help the process along. But is that? Am I being naive? Like, are there some? I don't want to generalize here, but in my mind, I'm thinking there's like a 70-year-old doctor, or maybe find a 28-year-old new family doctor. But no,
No, it comes down to writing your own business case with your doctor. You need to explain to them why you think you require it. And once you paint the picture, then it's pretty much a slam dunk.
So how did you paint the picture a year ago?
I told the doctor I'd been self-medicating since the injury.
And your injury was?
1988, half a whiplash.
Wow. And that from a car accident?
Yes.
From a car. And then what has so you were self-medicating anyway. You were honest about that. So why can't I just do this sort of legally now is basically what your case was.
That's correct.
And then your doctor did what?
She said absolutely. She said, I'll just send the referral to who you like. And I gave her the application I already had in my bag. And the process began.
Pedro, that's called proactiveness. He was already being proactive. I like giving life lessons on top of it all.
That's what it's all about.
So, and then you go to, the referral takes you where?
Well, in my case, it took me just around the corner from my house to a large clinic. Can I use the name?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
It's called the Cannabinoid Medical Clinic.
Okay.
They have locations all across Canada.
Okay. How do you say that?
Cannabinoid.
Cannabinoid. Okay.
That's correct.
Cannabinoid clinics. And that's good to know. So you and you come in with the letter. You come in within your application.
No. Your doctor has to fax the referral.
The people still fax.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it happens.
Yeah, it's legal.
Okay. That's amazing. I would have just taken a picture and emailed it or scanned it or something. So you go, and then when you get to the clinic, like they book an appointment with you at Cannabinoid?
CMC.
CMC. Okay. I want to just make sure I say it correctly.
Cannabinoid.
Cannabinoid.
Medical.
Cannabinoid.
Can you say that? Cannabinoid.
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 There you go.
I like it. Cannabinoid. So you go.
I knew you could.
Yeah, I appreciate. You know what? I can tell how concerned you are with my speech, because if I don't do that well here, pontificating for a livelihood, I'm totally screwed. And then I might have to go to the process next.
Oh boy.
And was that, once you're in there, is that a very easy process then? Because now it's
you establish a relationship with the doctor, and you together determine what you think your needs are. And then you take that prescription and it gets registered with a licensed producer, and then your process starts to come through the mail.
You know what I like about that, and just learning about it, honestly, like totally just learning about this, is that a lot of times there aren't really conversations with your doctors. You kind of come in, you tell them an ailment, and they just kind of give you a script. You don't know why the hell they just gave you that, but they just tell you it's going to make you better.
Especially with prescription pills and stuff, right? It's just like, yeah, here you go. There's no discussion anymore with anything, right? They just want to give you those pills and get
especially
you
like emerge room stuff, they're just like trying to get you in and out, and it's like expediting a process. And while I understand that there can be big lineups and lots of things, I feel like there's like you said, there's a relationship a little bit here, which is often lost in the doctor-patient, the time together.
I believe the reason that is because it's such a singular thing that you're talking about. You're talking about your medicine and how you're working with your medicine. And it's more about, he starts you, they call it, you go low and slow. So a small dosage and a small amount of THC, CBD.
That's basically what I said to my wife when I first met her. But anyway, that's something different. Sorry about that.
Low and slow.
I just sorry. It's so strange we use the same phrase. But
that's indica.
And isn't that nice? So, and then do you report back on sort of the results of being obviously medically medicated? Yeah, whatever. I can't speak today.
Medicated.
Medicated, yeah.
Go low and slow means your amount is 30 grams for a month, meaning you've got 1 gram a day. As soon as you go over that, now you know you need more. So now you start to measure out your own schedule. You can reorder, but if you reach your limit for the month, that's it. You have to wait for your next month. So at that point, you go back to your doctor and say that wasn't enough. And I don't believe the level was where I needed it to be for your particular strain or ailment.
And now you're there.
Nope. No. I would say that you continue to be monitored. There are always new things coming on the market. Excuse me. I will probably try another type. Each licensed producer comes out with new products.
Well, isn't that nice to know too, right? That now we've had, because of this conversation ending the stigma, now we're actually putting the work into making sure we find the right thing, whereas before you didn't really have those options.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Because there's so many different strains and different strengths and different varieties and all that stuff. Like, it's a whole world of expertise that you sort of need to wade through and become comfortable with as well, right? When you first sort of get into that universe, right?
It's true. There's no one particular strain, no one particular LP has the right medicine, and you build up a tolerance to some of them.
Right.
So you do have to know what is best for you and know what your titrate level is as well.
How old are you, Van, if you don't mind me asking?
62.
You look good, bro.
Thank you.
Get all your hair. Yeah. Okay. Do you have friends of yours? And again, I hate to generalize, I'm sorry, but sometimes when I think of this whole process that we're all going through and learning together, that older people are having trouble accepting kind of that, marijuana will be legal soon and that there's medical marijuana available and stuff. Do you have conversations with your friends to talk about the benefits that you've seen?
Yes, I do. I have helped people older than myself get registered. I have helped them go through the process. I talk to people at events. I speak openly about being a medical patient, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Can you take my mom's number and maybe speak to her and see, because she keeps calling to see if we're going to have a second kid, and it's driving me crazy.
Marijuana won't do that.
Okay. Well, Van, this is super interesting. Is there anything that you would personally like to add that maybe I haven't thought to ask?
No, I believe you've covered pretty much all the bases. The one thing I would add is that we need to know what our medicine is, and if we continue to buy it from illegal sources, we're never going to know what we're actually taking. And the licensed producer is the only way we have it right now. We will see what the government does and the way they deliver it to us. That remains to be seen.
Well, and that's what I'm learning about, getting familiar and doing when I hosted the Front Yard Shindig over Tweed and went on a tour. It's exactly that. Is they're showing, specific doses, they're showing specific strains and all the science behind it and all the experts behind it. And I think that is, and I'm a big advocate of that, to say, hey, listen, this is the stuff that's important right now, because once dosages are figured out perfectly and once eventually edibles are figured out perfectly and all these kind of things, then we're all in a better place, much like you would take an Advil. And one Advil of 250 mg of something is the exact same feeling all the time. That's where we're getting at. And you can't get that in the black market. I'm sorry to say. And people want to fight that, but it's true. And that's why I'm such an advocate behind this stuff. And I'm just happy to hear you doing well, Van. You're such a nice guy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Isn't this guy a nice guy? Yeah.
Could just have him here all day talking.
Yeah. You got a nice warm aura to you.
Thank
I like
you.
that. We need more of that in this world. Seem like a positive guy.
It's a positive industry knowledge that I seek in this plant.
Well, I like that you say that, because that's all I want to do, is seek knowledge and give that knowledge back to people, because we're all in it together, right? So it's an important thing to learn. Thank you so much, Van Netoff, and we appreciate you being here. Hopefully we'll catch up with you sometime down the road.
Thanks very much, Todd.
The Todd Shapiro Show.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. You can subscribe over there, or you can watch another video over here. And I think this is the Daniel Bryan yes chant. So what the hell? Yes, Todd Shapiro Show. Daniel Bryan can't wrestle anymore. It's a very sad story.